I am here with OneKey Virtual Care, and I am talking with Kristen, Nervo, Dowey. Kristen, how are you today?
It's a little warm, but I'm good otherwise.
Warm.
Yeah.
It is very warm today. But we're so glad you're here. And Kristen is the founder and CEO of this company. And to me, it kind of seems like you saw something that was needed and you filled a hole. Was it during COVID that this happened, or how did this company get started?
Exactly. So we have a family business. My father owns First Light Home Care of Greater Akron. He's had it for about 10 years, and we've been in the home care industry for over 40 years. My grandfather had a home medical equipment company that was founded in Akron as well.
Passing down the family legacy.
Exactly. And something my dad kept speaking about were the challenges of the caregiving shortage. And anyone who's taking care of their parents or grandparents, they might be aware that it's really hard to find home care options. COVID amplified that to an extreme, and unfortunately, it's not changing. And then I started doing research, and I was identifying that this challenge is going to only grow with our population numbers. And every day you have 10,000 Americans turning over 65. So we need some more support. So I started researching technology solutions out there, and I really wasn't able to find anything that met the needs of what we were looking to do. And so that's why I got a team together and we created OneKey Virtual Care. And we did that. We launched officially about a year and a half ago, and it's been incredible to see the impact we've been able to make and really just help the home care space and help seniors live more independently and safer at home or wherever they call home.
So you were sharing a little bit with me about these charts, but go ahead and just share with our viewers what you guys do. If somebody is out there, they're watching, because I even thought this at first, virtual care, what does that look like? Share with us what that looks like.
Sure. So what we do, we set up a system of motion censored cameras in someone's home, and we link them to a cellular router. We don't rely on customer Wi-Fi. This allows us to be HIPAA compliant and allows for a more secure network and a more reliable network. So we then have a live virtual caregiver on the other side who is monitoring all activity, deeming if they need to respond to it. And it's all based on the family's customized care plan. So we have some patients who may say, contact us if mom goes upstairs. They may say, contact us if she falls. Or they may say, contact us if she leaves the door open or something. Okay. There's all different circumstances they can set that will call their care team, or they may say call 911 if there are emergencies present, however that works. The other thing they're always doing is coding what's happening in the home. And what happens is it turns into an incredible report with a ton of data that families wouldn't otherwise have. Right. So our virtual caregivers have been able to detect symptoms of urinary tract infections, of medication adjustment needs, or just health regression or progression. We've actually had patients who over time have needed less care because through our reports, they've worked with their physician to change their medications and get them to a place where now they're sleeping through the night versus,
which is amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Share about this one. I thought that was so interesting.
So these are, I don't know if you want me to.
No, you could just share about it. Yeah.
So we create these reports and the families get them typically on a weekly basis. However, if a patient has a rough night, we'll send these reports at 7 a.m. the next morning. So for example, here, this is a real patient. They went to the bathroom 32 times in one night, slept less than 30% of the night.
Not a good night.
They were up walking around for 4 hours from 7 p. to 7 a. So our virtual caregiver said, I think something's going on. Right. They contacted the family, sent the family this report and said, nothing happened. However, this is unusual behavior for your loved one. The family then contacted their physician. In this specific case, the physician was able to identify the patient had a urinary tract infection, got them treated that day. And then the next night, you're seeing the next report where the patient's sleeping 80% of the night.
So much better.
Exactly. Versus having a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of disorientation, possibly falling, those sorts of things.
I think this is so great for families who need to have that comfort that their loved one is being taken care of too. And maybe they, like you said, there's a shortage. Maybe there isn't a way for them to have an actual caregiver in their home. So I think this is really, really wonderful. And then also for people who live further away from their caregivers.
Absolutely. Well, and that's what we found. We have a lot of families who they might live out of state, right. Or even, from a cost standpoint, this service is significantly less expensive than any others, and it gives people just more flexibility. We have a lot of are patients who receive home care services during the day. They might be in a facility setting, but this just allows families to have more flexibility in their care. We also do just a check-in service, which is really minimal and very low cost, but it gives people data and information that their loved ones are okay. So even if they go out of town for a couple days, they can have somebody checking in on their loved one essentially and alerting them if there's any issues.
That's great. I love that. And you said you also get involved with different organizations. And so there's a couple things coming up that you're going to be involved with that people could actually come out and meet you or your team.
Yes, absolutely. So, well, naturally, this product fits very well with patients with dementia and Alzheimer's. So we're going to be participating in the Walk to End Alzheimer's in Medina on September 24th. It is Medina on the Square that morning, and it's a great event to be involved in and just show your support. They're doing another one at the Akron Rubber Ducks on, I think it's Saturday, October 9th. But that's an organization we feel really strongly about and we want to support any way we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we're also really passionate about enhancing the quality of life for our seniors in our community. So we're going to be participating in the Akron Art Museum Senior Day, which is Tuesday, October 3rd. And that's an event that's totally free to seniors and their families. And they can just, there'll be a lot of healthcare organizations represented there, but also they can just go look at the art and just a fun activity for seniors to participate in. Absolutely. So we're really big on just supporting whatever we can to enhance the quality of life for our seniors in our community.
So I know this was a family business, but you also have to have some passion behind why you do this. Why are you passionate about doing this?
So I'm a little bit of a data geek, I have to say. So the reports really excite me, and the way that you can impact people's lives through data has always been fascinating to me. I also came from a background working in the startup world. I always was focused. I worked for a bottled coffee company before. But so this is a totally different industry, but I love being able to help make people's lives easier and help make people live healthier, safer lives for a lower cost. Because I personally experienced this. My grandfather had Parkinson's for 27 years, and we saw the toll that put on my grandmother and my aunts and my uncles, and my sister moved in with him to take care of him. And I always thought, oh, how could we make this easier for my grandfather? How could we give him more options? So I'm so proud to now be serving at a company that does that for families, and it would have made a huge difference in his life. Yeah.
And I can think about my own grandfather and the same thing. He actually had both Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and it would have made a huge difference in his life as well. So absolutely. I love what you're doing. I love that you took something like you love data and you worked in startups and you kind of made it into this really wonderful company, also keeping your family legacy. So very cool. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Sarah.
If people want to get in touch with you, can you share your website? Do you have social media? Share that.
Yep. Our website is just www.onekeyvirtualcare.com. One is spelled out O-N-E, and then key like a door key. Okay. All of our social media is the same, OneKey Virtual Care. We are on Facebook and LinkedIn. And then, anybody can give us a call too.
All right. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more great interviews coming on up.